In this video, we are going to discuss the basic features of a sit-to-stand lift, and that's what I have with me here. Now, there are several different companies that have these out on the market. They maybe have different names, but they're all the typical sit-to-stand lift. And these lifts we are going to use to assist us with somebody that can't help us to get to and from, like a wheelchair to a bed, or from a bed to a bedside commode, but they are weight-bearing and can do that and tolerate that. So this is something that we might use in that circumstance. Now, these lifts can be battery operated with push button controls, or they can be manually operated with a hydraulic pump like we have here. Now, on this particular lift, we have a bar right here that is going to help us when we maneuver this lift and when we're pushing or pulling it and getting it into position. Right here we have what we call a shifter handle. Now, this will narrow and widen the base of the lift. So the way you use this is you're going to move the handle to the side. So the base is narrow right now. We're going to move the handle to the side and turn this shifter handle in a clockwise position to widen the base. When we get it to the end, we're going to make sure that this handle comes back up to make sure that those legs are locked in that position. So to narrow this again, we're going to move the handle to the side, bring it back around in a counterclockwise position. Now, in the narrow position, you can use this lift to store it in that position, but when you are using it and you are lifting someone, that base needs to be widened. So we're improving safety. We're giving them, the client, a wide base of support as we move them around and as we lift them. The next thing we're going to take a look at are the wheels. These are caster wheels. They do have brakes on them. The way you apply the brakes is you're just going to step on this little latch right here. The way you take it off is you're just going to flip that back up. Now, on these lifts, you are not going to apply the brakes when you are actually using it to lift a client. You're only going to apply the brakes when you're in a parked mode, when you're storing it, because we want the brakes open so that the lift will move a little bit, because it will adjust itself and adjust the base under the client as we begin to lift them, and we want to make sure that we're allowing it to do that. Next on the list we're going to take a look at are the lift bars here. This is where you're going to attach the sling that you're going to be putting on the client. Right here is the pump handle. This handle is what we use to pump the lifter bars up as we begin to lift the client. So you can see how that works there. Now, there's a valve right here that you can open and close, whether you turn it clockwise or counterclockwise, that will allow this lift to lower when there's a client in there, when you're getting them down into their seat or onto the bed. So if you turn this lift in a counterclockwise, or this valve in a counterclockwise position, that will open the valve. And if there was weight on here, these lift bars would actually lower. So that will lower the client into their seat. Now, when you turn the valve back and close it in a clockwise position, that will allow you then to use the pump again to pump those bars back up. Down here we have a knee pad. This is going to rest against the client's lower leg. Now, when you put this, you can see right here we have a little pull pin. There's one of these on each side. You pull these out, and this will allow you to adjust the height of the knee pad. Now, you don't want this right against their kneecap. You want it just below, maybe 1 or 2 fingers widths below for comfort. So that will adjust that. And then this is the foot plate where they're going to place their feet. They're going to place their feet on there. Their lower legs will go against this as you begin to lift them with this sit-to-stand lift. So that's the basic features of a sit-to-stand lift. You always want to make sure that you're checking the weight capacity of the lift. It will usually be located on some information on this bar here. This one in particular has a 350-pound weight limit, so you certainly want to check that out. You always want to make sure the lift is in good working condition before you use it. Be sure to check out the comment section below for further details and for any other information that we may have forgotten to mention.